Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me? Hello.
It's Amber and Mike. We can hear you.
Okay, I think I had my volume off. Okay,
It's your sister. Can you hear me?
yes. Let me see. Okay, so I've got a bunch of people trying to get in right now. They're in the waiting room. Okay, so I'm thinking that's Miss Jill Adams, Paul Pettit, the Coes, the Boyles, Langstons. All right, I'm going to give everybody else about 2 minutes. All right. Hey guys, if you guys will go ahead and just type in the chat your name, so that way I know who all's here and this is being recorded, so that way I have a record of it. That would be great.
Aaron, it's Amber. I don't think I can type my name in because I'm riding in the passenger seat, but it's in a safe driving mode. So I don't think it's going to let me do that. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That is totally fine. Actually, I'm going to type yours in for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sorry Tate's losing his mind.
Right? Me too.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I want to honor y'all's time that are here on time, and we'll send this to everybody else. There is 52 of us going. So there's quite a few of us that are not on tonight. Feel free to stop and ask me questions. If you want to put questions in the chat, I'm going to be watching that too. I'm going to try to go kind of quickly through all of this, and I will tell you, this is the first time I've ever gone to Camp Caraway as a leader and not as a kid. I went as a kid a lot of years ago. So I may not know all the answers to all the questions, but they've sent me a hefty packet of information that I'm gonna just work from. And I've had to call a lot, mainly regarding the sign-in forms online. They've been a nightmare. So the first thing I want to start with is to let everybody know that we actually have 3 open spots They're girl camper spots. So if you know anybody that may be interested in going, please do let me know, but we have to go ahead and get their stuff in by January 1st. So we don't have a lot of time to be able to fill those spots. But if somebody would like to go, please reach out to me and let me know. You should have gotten the packing list in the email that I sent last week. And I sent that out as soon as I got it. It took a while to get that. One of the things that I do want to make sure you guys know, a lot of the stuff that we're going to be doing is outside. And with North Carolina weather, I just don't ever know what the weather's going to be like. So the closer we get to the date, and we can kind of look out at the weather, but if it's going to be pretty cold like it has been these past few days, you definitely want to make sure to pack plenty of warm weather clothes. I would also say too, to pack warm pajamas and warm bedding. Like if you have, what are the types of sheets that are warmer, not fleece?
Flannel.
Flannel.
Flannel, thank you. If you have sheets like that, they're twin beds. Then I would send those, and maybe like a sleeping bag. If you have something that's nice and warm and insulated, I would send those. I'm thinking about possibly bringing some kind of, like, we have a pedestal heater in our house that we could bring to if we needed to just knock the chill off. They've described it almost like glamping, but these are cabins. They do have heat, but just in case. I don't want kids freezing. So also labeling the things that your kids bring really is going to be helpful. Water bottles definitely are, the camp asks that kids bring water bottles, but I would definitely label those when you bring them. Make sure that they have a Bible, if you'll label those too. We want to make sure, if you're on here too and you're a chaperone going, if you'll make sure to bring your Bible too. When we have our devotion times and our worship, we want to make sure that we have those, that everybody does. For departure and arrival, we will leave the church at 8 a.m. on Saturday, January 14th. And so we'll all get there. I want to have everybody get there at least by 8 o'clock. We are taking a charter bus it's Sophia, North Carolina, which is about an hour away. It's not very far. But there are 52 of us going. Well, now we're down to 49 because of those 3 spots being open. But if we get those filled, we paid for 52 spots. That's how many people signed up. And that is chaperones and children. We are going to have wristbands for kids, because when we get there, we're going to have different teams. Kids will be in different teams. And so once we get chaperones and kids there, we'll get everybody wristbanded with different colors, kind of like at VBS, so we know who's on our team. And I'm going to talk to the camp this week or next week about our sleeping arrangements, because there's a possibility that we may have teams staying with one another in the different houses. Any questions about departure? Okay. Then I think that we're going to be back from the camp between 2:30 and 3 o'clock on Monday. Let's see. We should be back. I got one piece of paper that said the camp is over at 1 o'clock, and I got one piece of paper that said the camp is over at 2:30 on Monday. And so we will be back somewhere between 2 and 3:30, but I will get I will get clarification on that to let everybody know. We do need, I'm gonna send out to all of our chaperones because we have a lot of chaperones going too, which is really awesome. I'm gonna send out an email to our chaperones soon with some extra information in there for them, but I do need at least one person to volunteer to drive and not be on the charter bus, just in case we have to make a Walmart run if somebody forgot a toothbrush, or heaven forbid we have to run to the urgent care and take a child with us, or just any kind of emergencies like that. I need one person that can drive a vehicle. Plus, they're going to need to have some extra room in the back of the vehicle for some stuff that we also need to take that will need to stay in there. So one of the things that the camp seems pretty strict about when I talked to them was that they do not want any extra food being in the cabins. That actually is a personal issue with us because there's not going to be anything there in the cafeteria that my youngest daughter, Ruthie, can eat. And so I will have to pack all of her food, and I'm not going to have it stay in the cafeteria because I'm going to want to make sure that nothing else is in there because she's really sensitive to cross-contamination. So in the back of that vehicle, whoever drives it, I'm going to need to leave a box of food in there that'll have meals for her just in bags. But then I also have had some parents ask about the food rule, and what I'm going to let parents know is if you want to pack, if your child is a picky eater, you're not sure that they will eat the meals there at the camp. And I can't vouch for them whether it's stuff that kids will eat, it's good stuff or not. But if you do want to make sure that your kids do have snacks and we have it on hand, then if you want to pack them in some kind of bag that's labeled for your child, we can keep it in the back of that vehicle so that we have it on hand if they're hungry because they didn't like lunch or whatever. Any questions about that? Okay. The forms online have been quite confusing. I've had lots of people email. I've had a lot of people call the camp themselves. I only have a few people now who's, sorry, I have another person coming in. I only have a few people right now that their forms are not complete, and I will be reaching out to those people individually so that they know to finish up their forms. The forms are due by January 1st. But like I said, they were really confusing to do online. One of the camp's rules is that campers, children do not have cell phones, do not come with cell phones. They just don't want that distraction for them. And honestly, I think that's probably for the best as well. It's hard even for us adults to have self-control with our phones. And so they ask that the campers not have their phones. I will be sending out a list with all of our chaperones that are comfortable with it, a list of our cell phone numbers. So if you need to get in touch with someone, you will have the cell phone number of a chaperone that will be staying in your child's house, and a few others. Everybody will have mine to be able to get in touch with me in case of an emergency. And we will let kids call and FaceTime, text, send pictures if they want to do that too. So I want everybody to feel comfortable with that. I'm a mom too, and I would want my kids to be able to do that too. So we definitely will make sure that you can get in touch with us and we can get in touch with you if we need something or a child needs something. And it's nice that we're only an hour away if we do have a child that is extremely homesick and a parent wants to be able to come. medication for children, Camp Caraway does medication a little bit differently than the camps I've been to before. So if your child does take a daily medication or has something like an inhaler or anything like that, that we need to have there with us, if you will put it in a bag that has their name on it, labeled with their full name and their age and the group that they're with, I'm going to also put all of that in a container, and they ask to be able to keep that so that kids can go there, and they actually have a registered nurse that's on staff there that administers medication if it is something that they need daily. So if you have any questions about that, let me know too, but that's how they handle medication. Some of you, when you were going through the registration process online, there at the end of the registration part, you could put money for credit for your kids when they go to the camp store. Some people were able to bypass that. It looked like you couldn't bypass it, but some people were able to bypass it. You can either send money with them to be able to use at the store, or you can put it on credit, almost like they can use it like a credit card. What I will say for sending money with them to parents is it will be their responsibility. So if you want change back, I would probably not send cash with them, because I don't know if that will happen or that we will be able to manage that with, we have like 40 kids going. And so it may be best to put, you know, if you want to do $10, $15, $20 on the credit, then they can only purchase that amount. So, but that's up to you guys how you want to do that. But there are those two options. Let's see, we talked about food. We will be creating, I know everybody loves the GroupMe apps, the professional group texting. We will create a GroupMe group with all of our parents' phone numbers, and we will send pictures, any information that we want to send out to all of the parents. We'll be able to send it through there. So that will be another way that you guys can get in touch with us. If you have just joined just in the past few minutes, if you don't mind and you haven't already, if you will put your name down in the chat, just so I have a record of who all came, so I can make sure that I send the recording of this to anybody who wasn't able to be here. And then again, chaperones will also receive a separate email with extra information in it, so that they know of any extra rules that the camp has or that we have. I will say, as a parent and just director, everybody, all of the chaperones that are going with us have been background checked. A lot of them, actually all of them, serve with us in different ministries, mostly children's ministry. But like, we also have Matthew Boyle, who's going with us, and he serves on security team, and a lot of times is over there in the children's hallway with us. So he knows a lot of the families and stuff like that too. But it is a requirement of the camp that every chaperone there is background checked. And it's a requirement of ours too, that they are background checked as well. So honestly, that's all of the information that I have written down, but I figured that you guys may have questions. So if you have questions, let me know.
You said it was a charter bus, right? Okay.
Yep, it is a charter bus. So on charter buses, like I have a 9-year-old that doesn't weigh over 50 pounds yet. But I've checked all the regulations and everything like that. Charter buses are kind of like school buses. And so even if you have a kid that is in a booster seat, they won't have to have that on the charter bus. And I'm going to make sure that whichever vehicle drives to, whichever chaperone drives with their vehicle, that we will have a booster seat in there in case we have to take a child somewhere. Hopefully that won't happen, but just in case we will.
Are you planning on sending out the groups and things before we get there that morning so we can have their medications and things labeled in a bag before we get there?
So group information, you'll just put Clayton Crossings on there.
Oh. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Okay.
Nope, that's totally fine. Yep. When I said group, I'm sorry, I should have said church, because our group is so big that we're broken up into groups within that. But all that they require is just making sure that your church name is on there too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've had several parents, I think, that are good with driving too. The charter bus is really one of the funnest things. Like when we went to camp last summer, that's one of the funnest things it seemed like for the kids. They love to all be on there together. It gets a little rowdy, but it's a lot of fun. They love it. And I'm not sure if y'all saw my email about the things for kids not to bring. You know, all of it makes sense to me except the mayonnaise. I can't pretend to understand about that. But most of the rest of it seems to be, it says on here too, thank you for not sending any food to camp with your child. But just as a parent who I have to, and I'm going to have to manage that for my own child. I know that we have some kids going who have some either food allergies or sensitivities too. So like I said, if you need to pack something, just make sure you put it in a bag that has their name on it, that it's labeled, and we'll make sure that they are not hungry. Any other questions?
If we're doing like snack times in the morning or snack times in the afternoons for the kids?
Yes, they definitely do have. Let me look at the schedule really quick. Actually, I have two different schedules. I know that they have an afternoon snack time, and there's like a free time in the afternoon where kids can go to that store and let's see, we have breakfast at 8 o'clock, like on Sunday and Monday, and then lunch is at 12. So it doesn't actually look like that there's a snack in between 8 and 12, but I'm gonna probably purchase some stuff too to be able to stay in that vehicle too. I mean, I don't know about y'all's kids, but my kids, especially when they're outside running around and doing a lot of physical stuff, like they're probably gonna want a snack in the morning, probably mid-morning. But there is one that's built in the afternoon. Oh, it looks like they have snack time too after dinner. But I do want to have some of that stuff there with us so that, you know, if the food hall is closed, then we have something on hand. I don't like having hangry kids. So we're gonna take food. We just won't put it in the cabins. I don't want to break the rules in that way, but we're gonna have it with us.
Are we stopping for breakfast on the way, or do we need to come at 8 o'clock fed on Saturday?
That's a good question. No, if you will feed kids before coming, we will not stop on the way up there. And on the way back, they will have had lunch. We may have a snack for the charter bus. Like I may try to find something that meets everybody's allergy and likes as a snack on the way back too. So I don't bring them back hangry to you.
Do you know if the bathrooms are in the cabins or if it's like a bathhouse? I can't remember. Don't know.
Oh, that is a really good question. That's an important question for chaperones too. I do not know.
Brooklyn wants it to be in the cabin.
I just said don't.
I disagree.
You don't want it to be in there?
You want a bathhouse? No.
No.
That way, when it's 5 degrees outside, you have to walk to a
Oh,
bathhouse.
no. Oh my gracious. No. I will ask about that. I'll get some clarification on that. With as many chaperones as we have, like I'm reading over the information and I should get like our cabin assignment soon. So I'll be able to send that information out too. We should have several chaperones though to a cabin, which will be nice because if we do have to do that, hopefully we don't have to go outside to go to the bathroom, then, you know, there'll be someone else in there with them, with the kids. Any other questions? Okay, well, this is the shortest camp meeting ever at 28 minutes here. If you do have any other questions that come up, let me know. And as I learn more information from the camp, they're kind of slow getting stuff out to us. But as I learn more, and then I'm going to ask about the bathrooms, then I will let you guys know and pass that along. I'm hoping to go ahead and have kids split up into groups before we go, so the kids kind of know what group, and you'll know which chaperone will be in your child's house. But I'll also get out to parents to the list of cell phone numbers so that you know you'll be able to directly get in touch with somebody. So, all right, well, let me pray, and then I will send you guys a follow-up email probably the beginning of next week. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this opportunity, Lord, to be able to take so many kids and parents with us to camp. We just pray, Lord, over this time together for kids to be able to grow closer to one another, but ultimately to be able to grow closer to you. I pray that for our chaperones too, Lord, and I pray that you are preparing our hearts, parents and chaperones, to be able to minister to these children well, to be able to shepherd them and just be able to go and have fun being kids, being silly and having a great time, but also being able to learn more about you, be able to worship you, and to be able to just be with our Christian friends and brothers and sisters. I pray, Lord, for traveling safety for us as we go and come back from camp. And I just pray your hand of blessing over this whole trip. I pray that you will ease nerves and maybe anxieties about going away. Maybe it's campers' first times or parents' first time sending kids away, but I pray, Lord, that they will just feel peace and feel calm over our trip. I pray all of these things in your name. Amen. All right, guys, as other stuff comes out, just reach out to me, let me know. If you haven't finished forms I'm trying to look on here to see. I think everybody that's on here has done their forms. So if you have any questions about any of that, just let me know, and I will see you guys on Sunday. All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.